Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. If you have any questions on buying a property in the Villages, if you're trying to find a good deal, or if you're trying to sell your home and are curious as to what it's worth, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Two things to mention. First, make sure you check the date of the show. We produce this every Monday. Make sure you're getting the most recent information. Secondly, all of this information is drawn from the multiple listing service. It does not include any information from the village's own internal listing service, the VLS. So let's begin. I've had a lot of people comment on the yield chart that I started showing last week, so I'm going to continue showing it. This is daily bars. It shows the yield on the 10-year note. This most closely tracks the mortgage rate, where you see 3.98. That was 0.398% on the 10-year bond. Currently, we're at 3.983 on the 10-year bond. And you can see that it doesn't look as if rates are heading down anytime soon. It's anybody's guess as to whether they go significantly higher or fall from here. So let's turn our attention now to the village's real estate market. This graph shows us total listings, and currently in the villages there are 353 active listings ranging in price from just under $190,000 to $2.1 million. Looking at this graph, you can see that the number of listings is continuing to climb, and there's no sign that that's going to be changing anytime soon. Here we look at a breakdown showing us listings by price segment. In the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range, this week there are 216 homes for sale. Last week there were 211, the week before 207, the week before 204, and the week before 192. Here we look at the median listing price per square foot, which this week is $263.70 a square foot. We are at the lower end of the range, and if you're curious, the lowest price that we saw was $263.16 on the 30th of January, so we're not far above that today. This graph gives us a general look at how long properties have been on the market. The median time is 45 days. And it's interesting that even with the flood of new inventory over the last several weeks, the median time on the market for listings has not dropped. This graph gives us a comparison of how many properties are entering the market and leaving the market on a weekly basis, new listings and pending home sales. Over the last 7 days, there were 49 new listings and 32 homes went pending. On this graph, the blue bar is the new listings and the pending home sales are in orange. This is the highest number of new listings we've seen on a weekly basis since we started doing the show. Here's a more in-depth look at the 49 new listings, ranging in price from just under $250,000 to barely under $1 million. In the most active price segment, the $300,000 to $500,000 range. This week there are 20 new listings. Last week there were 19, the week before 18, the week before 17, and the week before also 19. Noteworthy is how many homes in the $500,000 to $600,000 range entered the market this week compared to the previous weeks. Here's a look at per square foot data for the homes that went pending over the last 7 days. The median price was $255.75 a square foot. Here we take a look at how long the homes that went pending were on the market. The median time is 27 days. This graph certainly is encouraging, but the number is a little misleading because almost 1/3 of the properties that went pending were on the market for less than 7 days. This shows us how many properties sold and closed over the last 7 days. They numbered 33, ranging in price from $107,000 to $925,000. The activity does seem to be picking up, and I will point out that as you look at this $107,000 number, all properties in the villages, from the most expensive to the least expensive, all enjoy use of the same amenities. Here's a closer look at the properties that sold, broken down by price segment. Most active price, $300,000 to $500,000 range. 21 homes sold over the last 7 days. Previous 7 days saw 13, previous 7, 16, previous 7, 9, and the 7 days prior to that, 18. Properties that closed over the last 7 days had a median price per square foot of $250. We do seem to be holding in a range of $240 to $250 currently. Here we take a look at how long the properties that sold were on the market, and the median time was 53 and a half days. It's interesting to note that even though the median time seems to be skyrocketing, 8 of the 33 properties that closed were on the market for less than 7 days, which is a quarter. So the 3/4 of the properties that did not sell within 7 days were on the market for a lot longer than the median time you see here. This summary is interesting. It shows us that of the 33 sales that took place over the last 7 days, 8 were on the market for less than 7 days, which is 24%, same percentage as last week. Of the 32 homes that went pending, 9 were on the market for less than 7 days, which is 29%, same as last week. And of the 353 total listings, 77 have been on the market for more than 100 days, which is 22%, same as we saw last week. This graph shows us what percentage of listings have decreased their price from the original listing price. We are at almost 55% of all properties having reduced their asking price from their original listing price. And the last thing we look at is what is the median change in the current asking price from the original listing price. A decrease of 4.46% is the median change for all listings currently in the villages. So that concludes this week's look at the villages real estate market. If you have any interest in buying a home and you're looking for a good deal, or you're trying to sell your home and you want to know what it's worth, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about life in the villages in general. Hope to hear from you. Take care.